The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time, an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies, and she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies.
Nobody that has the capacity to get me to shut up about this except for Erika Kirk. I'm not going to stop unless Erika Kirk asks me to stop. I said early on, if Erika Kirk asks me to be quiet, I will be quiet.
What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now? Stop.
Oh, whoa, Erika Kirk shuts down the No, she didn't even respond to one of the conspiracies. She gave us a motion. This is why there are many people who do not believe that women are equipped to lead companies, because what you are watching here is an unbelievably emotional response that is absent of any logic.
You were here, I was here, we were all here when Candace Owens said only 2 individuals could stop her from continuing with this investigation or talking about Charlie Kirk. She said one, it was George Farmer. George Farmer ain't gonna stop that shit. He enjoys that chaos. Why do you think the bulletin playbook is for? What do you, excuse my French, in the words of Erika Kirk, excuse my French. What do you think the bulletin playbook is for? He's not gonna stop that shit. But the second person was Erika Kirk. And Erika Kirk just called her to stop twice in 2 or 3 different podcasts. Now, let's see how Candace Owens replies to that. I reacted to her first interview on Fox News. Oh, she's been on so many, and I've watched so many of them, I'm getting confused. Fox News, I think, is outnumbered, something like that. And I reacted to that. If you've not watched that video, please go watch it. It's very entertaining. So I am going to watch this one where Candace Owens reacts to that particular interview of hers, and let's see how the dynamic plays. But one thing I can tell you all, 15th is going to be very difficult for Turning Point USA. It's not because Candace Owens has more facts on her side. No. It's because Candace Owens, oh Lord, pray for TPUSA. They need it.
Is coming out about the Sabbath, and she's speaking about the quote unquote conspiracies as she sits down with a lot of these news anchors. So first and foremost, she's sitting down here with Harris Faulkner, and I just want to show you a couple of clips from this sit down, which is now trending. And she begins by addressing the question, which has been in the air, regarding where Charlie Kirk is buried. That question resurfaced this week in a big way because Milo Yiannopoulos and a few others have asserted with absolute certainty that Charlie has not yet been buried. That's what they're saying. They say they have proof of that. And at first, Harris Faulkner is asking about that claim.
And that was also the first time I heard about it, that he had not been buried. I was very shocked when Milo said that. And I just took him with a grain of a huge saltic salt, because that guy says a lot of crazy things just for this effect of it. But it seems there is some merit to it. And it's quite interesting. I thought the guy was buried already. I just thought it was like private, and Erika at least kept that one to herself. And hopefully she really keeps that to herself. So let's get to it.
Take a listen.
Talk to me about this part of the conspiracies that are out there, this disturbing part that people are trying to guess where Charlie is.
Can I have one thing? Can I have one thing? Can my children have one thing? Everything was public. We will be building the most beautiful memorial for my husband at Turning Point USA, and it will be for the world to see, and it will be spectacular, and it will have basically museum style for our Charlie, for my Charlie. But can I have one thing? Can my babies have one thing where we hold it sacred, where my husband is laid to rest, where I don't have to be worried about some secular revolutionary coming and destroying my husband's grave while my daughter is sitting there praying? One thing. This is my husband. Yes, he was Charlie Kirk to the world, and I know so many people love my husband, and I am grateful for that, but this is my husband, and I want to be able to have one thing left that is sacred to our family, to my in-laws, to my babies, and to my parents. One thing.
Okay, so on its face, I actually agree with that. I think that when people are being buried and where they're being buried and how their funerals are done, that is very private matter. Okay, so objectively, I agree with what she's saying. Okay, but subjectively, because we are dealing with the subject of Erika Kirk and what transpired immediately following Charlie's assassination, this is going to be read as Meghan Markle syndrome. Okay, Meghan Markle syndrome.
Oh God, I swear. Turning Point has a task in front of them for the 15th. And like I've said, they need extreme strategy in order to face Candace on the 16th or his 15th. Not only because Candace Owens keeps shifting the goalpost or changing the set of rules they are playing by, but because she's extremely good at it. And she does it seamlessly in a way that nobody can notice. And now she just swiped in the Meghan Markle thing. She knows extremely how much many people don't like Meghan Markle. So sliding that in there. Very smooth. Very, very smooth. Okay?
Syndrome, where you want privacy when you want it, but you want publicity whenever you want it. And that just doesn't work. Okay? It doesn't work that way. I honestly think it was said best by Bethany Frankel, not related to this situation. Bethany Frankel is on Real Housewives, a reality show. And she was referring to one of the housewives who lived her life very publicly, showcased her marriage, was buying tons of Louis Vuitton bags, and they had tons of money. And then when their relationship soured, the housewife basically asked the public for privacy. And Bethany was like, no, this isn't how it works. Like, we were riding with you on the way up, we're riding with you on the way out. You don't get to like pick and choose when you want privacy and when you don't want privacy. And subjectively, as it, in the matter of Erika Kirk, this is the same person who had somebody record her over Charlie Kirk's casket. That was not our business, truly. And I can say that decision was made by her. And there is, some credence to the claim that everybody grieves differently. I wouldn't even record myself over a casket ever, okay?
Now, there is a truth to some things Candace Owens is saying, but she is slightly, when I say she's smooth, she's a very smooth operator. She is slightly bending something in a way that will be of disadvantage to Erika Kirk. And given that she is responding to Erika Kirk after the fact, it would be very difficult for her to on the spot say, hey, but can I decide what I share with the public and can I decide what I keep to myself? Because yes, every celebrity can decide what they keep to themselves and what they put out there, people get to judge. If you want to see my full reaction to this Erika Kirk, this interview, it's an hour, at least an hour, 10 minutes. It's on the channel. Go watch it. I really break down a lot of the subjects in details. But here, at least Erika Kirk, yes, that particular scenario of her filming that, yes, that was extremely uncomfortable for many individuals, and that was really unnecessary. She didn't have to put that out there. Yes, she made that mistake. I don't know for what reason and put it out there. But at least at this point, she is taking that executive decision and saying that I want to keep this one to myself and I would like to have it. Is it possible for you to give her the grace of letting her keep that to herself? Or are you just going to hold her to the fault of, no, you can't decide when you want privacy and when you don't? The truth is this, every celebrity has things they keep to themselves. That is why sometimes you find them being under blackmail and sometimes they go underground because they're trying to keep the parts of themselves they've kept secret. And the parts of themselves they will not like exposed. They will like them kept there. And Erika Kirk has done a great and amazing job in keeping her kids' identities, faces, very secret, even their names. I think nobody knows who their names are. I think maybe a few people know that maybe their names might start with G or something, but people don't know the kids' identities, which is a fantastic job she did with that, which is something she was able to do before and after her husband's demise very beautifully. So that, and I said before, every decision, whatever she decided to put out there, nobody took from her. She gave it to the public. But this particular instance, she is making this executive decision and saying, I want this for myself. Yes, the tone And all that she came with felt like there was something behind. And I explained that in my previous video. But can you at least allow this woman have this one thing she's asking for, Candace? Can you let her have it?
Some people maybe perhaps want to have that memory, but the decision to publish that, you crying over your husband's casket, and to publish his dead body on Instagram was a decision that was made by Erika. And we can watch that. Take a look.
I apologize. I will cut that part because I personally don't feel that in my spirit. I really find that extremely intrusive, honestly. I don't know how she did that particular thing. So I will cut that part. I'm sorry. If you really want to watch it, you can watch it on her Instagram or on Candy's show. You will watch it. So we will skip that part and move ahead.
That is an incredibly personal and an incredibly intimate moment that you invited the public into. Okay, there was no reason to do that outside of wanting to share something that was very private with the public. And now you fast forward 3 months removed, and it's why does the public want to know where he's buried? It doesn't work like that. You have to make a decision. I want this always to be private, or I want this always to be public.
And I will still insist on that point. Yes, she made an error. Personally, for me, I'm not saying that it's an error for her. I'm sure for her, it was a perfect decision and she doesn't regret it. But yes, she put that out there. And it is okay for her to still decide that, hey, I want to keep something for myself. My problem was when she said she wants to keep something for herself. Then the next minute she's talking about opening a museum for people to come there. And definitely that museum is going to be paid to enter. It's not going to be free, of course. So that is where I have a little problem. But if she decides to keep her husband's burial site private, let that woman have it, Candace. At least that's something she deserves. She and her family, at least the in-laws even came in.
That's my personal feedback there. Later on in this same interview, she launches into a strong defense of Turning Point USA employees who have, just as a matter of fact, told many lies, many inconsistencies. These are verifiable. So they are currently lying to the public, or they have lied to the public, but she is going to deliver quite an impassioned defense regarding these particular individuals and the organization as a whole. And I want you to hear her passion. Take a look.
What are they taking from you right now?
Nothing. But I will tell you what they are doing. It reminds me so much of chapter 6 in the book of Nehemiah. He is building a wall, and the townspeople are at the base of that hill saying, Nehemiah, calling him all these names, saying all these things, come on down. Every single time he had the same message 4 times in a row. I cannot come down. I am busy building. That is how I feel. I do not have time to address the noise. My silence does not mean that I am complacent. My silence does not mean that somehow Turning Point USA and all of the handpicked staff that loved my husband and my husband loved them is somehow in on it. We are busy building. And you know what I thought? I thought these people are human. We are all grieving in our own way, and they are trying to find the answer to something that happened that was so evil. They are trying so hard, and I get that. We're doing the same. Anytime we hear a lead or anytime we hear anything, we send it to the authorities. Please dig into this. No rock will be unturned. I want justice for my husband, for myself, for my family, more than anyone else out there. So for me, you want to keep telling me to come down while we're building? I don't have time for that, but here's my breaking point on that. Come after me, call me names, I don't care. Call me what you want, go down that rabbit hole, whatever. But when you go after my family, my Turning Point USA family, my Charlie Kirk show family, when you go after the people that I love, and you're making hundreds and thousands of dollars every single episode, going after the people that I love because somehow they're in on this.
Candace Owens and Erika Kirk have a tell. They don't like each other. Candace Owens, look at her now. Look at her now. Whenever she doesn't like what you're saying, or she just does this twist with her mouth where she firms her mouth to prevent herself from probably reacting more, or her face interacting more with what you are saying. So she does that thing where she just firms her mouth and keep it there so she can avoid it. Erika Kirk can't stand her too. This is Erika Kirk also reacting to Candace's name being mentioned.
The podcaster Candace Owens, okay? At one time, a friend of Charlie's, at one time an employee of Turning Point. She has been one of the main peddlers of these conspiracies. And
See, do you see that lifting of her chin right there? That thing where she lifted her chin, moved her lips, and then held her chin high up to like indicate it's a power position. Like, I'm the big bad girl. Erika must have been a menace in high school. She must have been in the girls' squad that were menacing the entire campus. Erika Kirk has been that girl, okay? You see this religiosity that is going on around Erika Kirk. Erika Kirk is in her religious era, but I can assure you, every now and then the mask slips and you see the real Erika shows up. That face there, I can't unsee it. This clip has been going viral. I can't unsee that face, I swear.
she is making a huge amount of money on it. She is building her business off of these lies. What do you want to say to her and the other people that are putting these lies out into the world right now?
Stop. That's it. That's all I have to say. Stop.
Candace, Candy, remember you had. All right, let's let Candace remind us what she said before.
Has the and Erika Kirk and Erika Kirk and Erika Kirk has the power to shut me up right now. That's it.
No.
I'm sorry, but that whole thing right there is frustrating. And I'm going to explain to you why I just do not accept any of that. First and foremost, the idea that she does not have time. Okay, she definitely has time, okay? She's done Hannity, she's done The Five, she's done Fox and Friends, she's done Outnumbered, she's done Megyn Kelly Live, she sat down with the New York Times. She made time, by the way, in case you don't remember, to fly to DC for Sergio Gore to be sworn into the ambassador to India, as the ambassador to India, which feels kind of obscure and not necessarily related to Turning Point USA affairs, building affairs, or whatever it is. But sure, that's fine. I mean, obviously, you're also allowed to be a person if that's the homie and that's what you want to do, sure. But we are indeed speaking about a coast-to-coast flight to stand up next to somebody and basically say, Charlie loved you. That was like the whatever 15-second speech that she gave, right? Here's actually, we have a clip of that speech that she gave.
Well, he was also very good friends with a guy named Charlie. We just knew him as Charlie. And his wife, who we love so much, is here with us. And maybe, you know how close they were together. Maybe, Erika, you could say a couple of words, please.
I'm honored to, sir. Charlie loved you. It's hard not to get emotional because I know that he would have been the first phone call when he found out that you were going to be taking this position. And the way that I was able to witness the two of you work together for years and to champion and support the president was absolutely humbling to witness. And I am so proud of you. And Charlie is going to be with you every single day in spirit. And I will be praying for you every day because I know that this is just the beginning of an incredible opportunity for you. And sir, thank you for allowing Sergio to have this beautiful moment.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Charlie.
That's just an ambassador to India swearing in ceremony. Again, if that's your friend, you want to be there, that makes sense. She's also a person, and she can decide what she wants to do there. But the point that I'm making is that's a coastal flight that she made to be there to watch a paper get signed. She has also made time for an upcoming CBS News town hall sit down with Barry Weiss, which was filmed today. So Erika Kirk has time. She has time. It is just what she means to say, not her priority, which is you are allowed to prioritize things in your own life. But this is not a matter of time constraint. It is not her priority to respond to the majority, actually.
Candace, you know that Erika is busy. She has told you she's busy. She doesn't have time. She has other priorities. Like you have said, that is priority to her, but responding to you is not. But don't worry. She has set the 15 for all the answers you are asking for. And I'm sure come the 15, she will answer those questions. She is wow, my English is also gone. She is dividing this thing according to time, importance, and what needs to be done at the moment or which moment. At the moment of that inauguration, she needed to be there. Calm down. You don't know what political maneuvers this lady is into. Okay? Give her the space and time to handle all her political affairs. She's now the CEO of Turning Point USA. Turning Point USA is politically involved heavily, especially when it comes to Trump's administration and beyond. So the woman has to carry out certain political maneuvers, especially now that she has the grieving credit card, and Trump likes to use that credit card sometimes, So come on, Candace, you're acting as if you don't know how these things work. You know how these things work.
Majority of people think of this as BS. The majority of people think Turning Point is acting suspicious. And she does not feel that it is what she wants to do as a matter of priority, responding. Okay, that's fine. Now, to that point that people are making hundreds and thousands of dollars, I just don't get how there's not someone on this very large PR team, as we're seeing these PR campaigns go out, that doesn't go, hey, maybe we should strike that. They made $40 million like 2 nights ago at Mar-a-Lago. Maybe that feels kind of a little bit like let them eat cake-ish. Oh, and we've made more than, separately from Mar-a-Lago, Turning Point USA, since Charlie was killed, just so you guys know, this is a fact, has made more than $100 million. That is separate from the $40 million they made at Mar-a-Lago the other night. So since Charlie has died, that organization has taken in $140 million. But gosh darn you people that are making hundreds of dollars every day on YouTube talking about Charlie Kirk's assassination and the BS narrative that is being fed and the very obvious psychological operation that is being employed to make you accept the BS that they are trying to sell to us.
Candy, listen. One thing anybody will never say is that Candice built her platform using Charlie Kirk's death, but she has amplified it using it. She has had a good topic to hold on to for a while. Nobody should blame her for that. It's part of content creation. She had at least 5 million subscribers to that channel before Charlie ever passed. And she has had Brigitte Macron keeping her going. And then when Charlie Kirk came, it was a gift that has kept on giving. Turning Point is helping her carry that out. Now Erika has jumped into the equation. In fact, imagine that Erika waited 3 months. Meanwhile, she was there tackling Turning Point USA. Now that Erika has joined in, because for 3 months, Candace always had to pretend that everything Erika Kirk did was perfect. After the first memorial speech, she said, "Oh, Don, man, that was, Erika was a moment." I was like, Candace, you know that nobody's convinced with what you're saying, and you are not convinced with what you are saying. For a fact, she was waiting for Erika to push her somewhere, because there are things about Erika that if Erika was someone else whom she was not at, let's say, a green light area where she could go, she would have called it out a long time ago. But she was waiting for the right moment, the right green light. And when that right green light knocked on her door, Candace has not let go since then. But then, what we are not also going to pretend is that Turning Point USA on the other side is not also making money, making views. I see some of them come under my comment section and tell me that what I'm doing is because I'm making for money and for dollars. Yes, we are all making for dollars and for money and for entertainment, okay? But please, before you complain about someone making money off something, can you look into the organization that has started selling t-shirts a few hours after the man died? Can you do that? The one that has monetized, they have basically monetized what it means to lose a spouse, to lose a founder. I have never seen this kind of monetization of someone's passing. They have milked it to hell. No one is stopping them, but let that hypocrisy of them coming to make fun or talk down on someone because someone is addressing something, saying, "Oh, you want to make money out of you," please. Please don't even fool yourself, because you're lying to yourself, not to me. Because I'm sure some of you who are under my comment section telling me that nonsense are some of the people that Erika Kirk probably sent the letter she has been sending round after her husband died, and people were sending her money. You are probably some of those who bought those t-shirts. And when she will open the memorial house or museum for her husband, some of you will be the ones paying $10.99 to go see Charlie Kirk memorabilia and all of that. So please, can we stop with the pretense? Everybody is making a nice coin out of this, and the grift keeps on going. It is part of content. Content creators are going to make content out of it. And Erika Kirk and TPUS are going to make money out of it. They're monetizing every second of the day. Erika Kirk is launching a book. Come on, man. After the book, I'm sure Erika Kirk will write a book on grieving in no time. Give her time. I can see that book already coming. Okay? She has already given the hint of a museum. Where do you think this is heading to? It's constant. It's to keep the money machine working. And some people, you're making it for money, please.
Gosh darn you. Did you make $1,000 today? Speaking about Charlie Kirk, well, you should be ashamed of yourself, says Turning Point USA, who in large part made that money because of those very people who gave to the organization immediately following Charlie Kirk's assassination. And the thing that is especially absurd about that is trying to almost like, I want to be clear that Turning Point USA is my family. The Charlie Kirk show is my family. She's just expanding the wings of people that we're not allowed to critique because they're in the family. If you call them fam, you can't critique them, right? Oh, I'm sorry. We actually are showing a clip of Rob McCoy defending a pedophile or trying to launder the reputation of that's fam. That's the CK show fam. Oh, I'm sorry. We are actually pointing to the fact that we know for certain that this person or organization is a sexual deviant. That's fam. That is my, don't you get me upset. I know that this is a now $150 million in the last 3-month organization and we employ tons of people, but you can't critique. You can't critique the fam. And I hate to say this, but I'm going to be very clear here. This is why there are many people who do not believe that women are equipped to lead companies, because what you are watching here is an unbelievably emotional response that is absent of any logic, okay? If you really care about your team, answer the questions, okay? Just demystify the entire event. Come out, sit down, answer the questions so people don't think Turning Point USA looks so suspicious. Don't try to mom the organization and say, well, mother's upset because people are coming after her kids and all of this multi-million-dollar subsidiaries. That's my children.
To those of you who watched my reaction to Erika Kirk's interview with this journalist, I think her name is Barry Wise, I'm not exactly sure. I said something very interesting at the beginning, and it was very important because they started by pivoting that she is there to address these things as a mother, a wife, and a battered American, something like that. So that was already fixing it and emotionally controlling everyone's mind to understand, hey, we are here to talk only about her as a mom. So when she'll be talking about Turning Point USA people, it should be like the family, the mother, and things like that. Candace Owens understood that particular thing, which is why she keeps trying to on mom or on family the entire situation so that she can actually attack without being seen as though she's attacking Erika Kirk's family. But she wants to demystify the mom section, the mommy section, and that's why she keeps honing in and insisting on the CEO section of it, because she knows that if she goes in without building in that narrative of, no, she's also the CEO, it will make it seem harsh. It will make it seem like just being deliberately devious to go in the mother section. Like, hey, a mother hen cannot be covering her kids and you want to attack. So she's doing a really good job here with that. That is Candace Owens. She and George, very, very devious human beings. I tell you guys, the Bulletin Club works, okay? That thing works. If you not watch the Bulletin Club of featuring George Farmer, please go check out the channel. I have a full deep dive there, and I'm working on another one. It's crazy.
Okay? The multi-million-dollar subsidiaries, Turning Point, like Turning Point Action, all that, those are my kids, so you can't critique them. Not a good idea. Okay, it may work in PR world. You guys, I know how it's an obvious PR campaign. It's never been more obvious of a psychological operation. I actually wish
Yes,
they
we
would
know,
put
Candy,
me
you would
on
like
payroll
to
so I
be
could
on
help
their
them make these
payroll.
things
You would
look
like
more
to be
organic.
part of the company. I saw her during the weekend. She had an interview with Russell Brand where she was saying she thought they were going to have the old gang come together, and the FBI, the Trump White House is going to help them to solve her friend's. She thought they were going to form a gang together, be this cool clan that are fighting against the world, and then they left her hanging to dry. I know, Candy, that you would like to be part of it. And it's not because you are coming in with a strategy. No, George Farmer will be coming in with the bulletin playbook so you guys can make it look more organic. So what you're telling us here is that you would have given them a better strategy for them to lie to, because according to what you're saying, they are lying to us, right? So what you're telling us is that you would have given them the strategy for them to lie to us and let it look organic in a way that we will not be able to question it. Okay, girl, we get it. I'm just trying to clear the air here because according to Candace, they're lying to us. So she is saying that if they called her, employed her, put her on a nice paycheck, better, yeah, she would have given them very easy tips for them to see that, okay, this is how you lie to these people. Okay. You lie to them so that it looks organic. And all of those people who are making videos about condemning her, it would have looked organic. And this is the thing when she goes into the influencers making videos within 4 seconds. She is trying to make every individual who criticize her look like a bunch of people in the same box. It's the same thing that most people usually do when they are trying to avoid criticism. They say, oh, you have all been paid. You remember the 7,000 era. The 7,000 era is the 7K era is slowly dying down, where whenever you say anything critical of Candace Owens, you have so many people under the comment section saying that, oh, you've been paid 7,000. That is because there was a time when she alleged that some people were being paid 7,000 to talk about her. She said she was hunting for people who have been given that money as evidence so she can prove it. She has never given that evidence, but it has never stopped anyone from coming under your comment section. If you go under most of my comment sections when I talk about Candace, you'll find people there who paid you, how much is the 7K worth and things like that. Because according to the narrative she spins, if you critique her during that era, you are part of the 7K. So in this particular era where she's talking about Erika Kirk, if you critique the way she's criticizing Erika Kirk, you are part of those who were paid to make videos within 4 seconds saying that she did this, that. But unfortunately, she doesn't see the irony where she is also criticizing Erika Kirk. And someone could also say, so you are part of the people who have been paid to criticize Erika Kirk. Or, sometimes people tend to forget these things when they are trying to levy these accusations. But it doesn't matter because as long as you levy that accusation, there are people who will run with it. And anybody who seems to say something contrary to what that person says is going to be put in the box of those who are paid 7K or paid money to criticize them. And it's quite interesting to see online.
Than having every single person that has been telling us to stop asking questions all make the exact same video within 4 seconds of each other, being like, whoa, Erika Kirk shuts down No, she didn't even respond to one of the conspiracies. She gave us emotion. She said, I'm a mother, I am a wife, and we never asked about whether she was mother or wife. We want to know if she is a CEO and a chairman.
Is that a new thing that has been added onto the list of qualifications Erika has to check recently? I didn't know that was part of that. I guess now it is one of the things on the list of let's check this. Is she a CEO or a chairman, or is she only a mom? Okay, because right now you're giving me emotional. It's not passing the vibe check. You're giving me emotional. But Candace Owens, I thought this lady told you she was going to answer all your questions on the 15th. And this is the thing. It's not like Candace Owens does not know that Erika is intentionally probably not. I'm not saying that I know what Erika is doing. I'm just imagining look, now this is me in conspiracy land. Everything in this video is alleged. Even my name is allegedly Nemo. Let's keep going. I am imagining that the reason Erika Kirk is asking her to stop is because they have decided on the 15th, this is the truth, whether Erika Kirk and TPUSA like it or not, they have a hard task. And that task is going to be to convince the people. Candace Owens has been convincing for 3 months that their hands are soiled and dirty. Okay? And it doesn't help that some of them from the organization have few loopholes in their lives. Now, Erika Kirk is probably just intentionally avoiding having the conversations of the conspiracies out here up and down because she wants to ensure that on the 15th, those questions are answered once and for all and we can move on, right? But this is where they have a problem. On that same 15, it's going to be more conspiracy. Like if there are 60 conspiracies now, let's say 50 conspiracies or 60 now, after the 15, we are going to have 250. Believe that. Okay? Because each question they will answer from Candace Owens, she will spin it into 64 more conspiracies. And that is how she rolls. It's not about if Erika asks me to stop, I will stop. When Erika asks you to stop, come on now. She's about to give you a checklist, okay? That is just how Candace rolls. The unfortunate thing is that Erika Kirk and TPUSA are going into this thinking it's a fair fight. They are going into this media playbook thinking that the bulletin George Farmer behind is going to play fair with them. No. One, they already have a head start of 3 months. They've had 3 months out here in the streets, causing all the chaos they can cause. How can they combat this? Erika Kirk and TPUSA will need 6 or 8 receipts. The kind of receipts that I mean debunks very primary things that Candace Owens has been insisting on. And it will not, you see the trust me bro that Candace Owens has been doing for 3 months, it will not work. The source, I have a source will not work. They will have to show text messages too. Yeah, look, I know it's not my favorite part of the life. Showing text messages, I hate that about Candace Owens also. I don't like it at all. Showing private text messages, especially when it has nothing to do with what she's investigating. Oh, he was so in love with this girl. Girl, you're wicked. Turning Point, we need to produce text messages that disprove at least 6 to 7 important things or tenets Candace Owens' investigation is hanging on. For example, maybe the SD card she was complaining about, or the Rob McCoy situation, or something about the call when Rob McCoy called the father or something. They will need at least 6 to 7 things. Or they will need to turn the game around. They need to find someone who is a George Farmer in their camp. So far, I don't see a George Farmer there, unless they have one behind the scenes. Erika Kirk could be, you never know. The lady could be a mastermind behind. Because in front, I don't know, it's not giving master manipulative. It's giving bad actor in front. But behind, she could be a mastercraft, mastermind, okay? And we are waiting on the 15th. From the 15th, we will know if they have a George Farmer equivalent behind them, or this is just going to crumble like dead cookies. But it is a hard task. How would they win this? They cannot win this by just coming to say, this is wrong, that is right. No, this did not happen, that happened. They must come with facts, evidence, as well as emotional. You see the Candace Owens emotional blackmail, they need to come with 62 times. Let them heighten it to times 70. Flip the script on her 72 times. Because if they come and they don't leave the audience wondering about Candace Owens' life, her motives, her everything, it is going to leave Turning Point. Turning Point has a task. I don't know how they'll do to bribe George Farmer to give them a strategy. They need to call George Farmer and kidnap him to somewhere. I'm sorry, that was just a joke. Someone, please, I'm just joking there. They need to find a way to drag George Farmer somewhere for him to give them a strategy, because Candace Owens has had a head start, and that head start has been disastrous.
And a CEO and a chairman has to compartmentalize. A CEO and a chairman cannot respond to valid questions and critiques about finances, about shady actions that are being taken by people that require presidential pardons, people that are meaningfully asking why we are not getting a clear answer of what took place on September 10th, a CEO, okay, does not get to respond and say, that's my family. Okay, that's the energy of what I would expect from a mother speaking to a teacher, which I was this mom, like that's my kid. Okay.
TPUSA, you are so, oh my God. TPUSA is in for a ride on the 15th. I don't know how much the 15th is going to help TPUSA so far, but they're in trouble. Candace? I'm sorry, this is too funny, okay? I have no dog in this fight. I'm just an observer, so I need you guys to calm down. This is too funny. The gloves are completely off. Round 2, let's hit it.
And I'll shut this down right now. That's my child. This is not a child. Turning Point USA is an organization, and Erika already had an uphill battle to climb, like that she had to climb this because, by the way, just because if this was Goldman Sachs and the president of Goldman Sachs or a managing director over at Goldman Sachs died in a horrifically violent way, the Goldman Sachs family might mourn for a couple of months, but they would have instantly had someone to replace that individual. And beyond that, they would have never accepted the public and the people that are investing money. They would have never accepted, well, he's gone, but here's his wife.
Candace Owens is completely comparing 2 different companies, and she knows that these companies, they operate on different sets of rules, and she doesn't care. Yes, Erika does not have let's say the qualifications, I don't know per se, to be a CEO, but she has been working behind the scenes, according to what she says, with her husband, and she is educated. I think she's currently doing her PhD in Bible studies, but don't let that stop her husband from telling you that university is a waste of time. He even has a book on it, okay? Don't waste your money in school. Meanwhile, he married his wife who had degrees and she was still pursuing a doctorate, okay? These people be tripping. They'll be tripping. Yeah. Stay at home, be submissive to your husband. Don't do nothing other than have babies, birth babies, cook, clean. But as soon as the man passed, she is CEO. Okay? Yeah. So the only time you're allowed to assume position of leadership is after your husband passes. But until then, please stay cook, clean. So I don't know, when Erika has a second husband, will she leave these positions? Because the funny thing is, while she was married to Charlie Kirk, she was still operating her own business. She had a clothing line. She had a podcast. I think it was Sunrise or something about Horizon. She had other businesses she was doing. And when she got married to him, she was still doing those businesses, right? So then her husband will come out here and tell, be submissive to your husband. Stay home, cook, clean, and birth babies. Okay.
She already had a hill to climb here, right? Like, this does not make you qualified because you love someone to take on their job. I am not qualified to do what my husband does. That's why I said I wouldn't want to be the CEO and the chairman of a company. Actually, there's a great clip of Jordan Peterson asking that very question. Like, why do women want to be? Like, why would you want to have, it's actually a lot of work and it's very stressful and it's a lot of numbers and you're crunching numbers and you have to be everywhere. Okay.
Jordan Peterson also said you should clean your room, but his own room was found to be a mess. He also said you should keep your body clean, but then who got hooked on what? So Candace, please don't tell us what Jordan Peterson said. This is the truth. Every woman is different. If you don't find CEO capacity, something you aspire to, let other women do it. And the funny thing is this, you cannot even claim to be that housewife who only sits, cook, and clean because you are a full-blown professional. And before you married your husband, you were the CEO of your company. Is it 180 degree? Talk about the doxing website you wanted to start, something about social autopsy, yeah? You were the CEO of that company, right? Yeah. So, but suddenly, when you started Blexit, is Blexit, yeah? Blexit, you and I think it's Tatum. Weren't you the CEO of Blexit? Huh? Yeah, no. But suddenly when it's someone else assuming position of CEO, oh, down. What do you mean you want to be CEO? It's a lot of crunching of numbers and papers and documents. Oh, thank God I have George. You have George. Thank God you have George. You have your husband to help you lift the heavy lifting. And that arrangement, first of all, I'm worried for you, girl, because George Farmer, okay, fine. I hope he's fine and you're fine, good. But Erika doesn't have that right now. She doesn't have the luxury of it. And she wants to make sure that she maintains her husband's legacy in the best way possible. And who else will have the passion, or at least somehow the passion her husband had? Probably her. Yes, I'm not saying that another person couldn't take it and run it also. Probably there is someone still in Turning Point or outside of Turning Point. CEOs must not come from within the company. We just need a good one. There could be someone else who could come and run it very effectively and more fine. But then at this point, she has herself and she has to try to run it the best way she can. And so she has to. So I don't know why you're quoting Jordan Peterson and bringing Jordan Peterson into why women want to be CEO. Honey, there are women who are CEO that do it very well, okay? Do it sometimes even better than some men. I'm not saying that women are better than men. Please don't come here with that politics of gender roles. Please, we are not doing that right here. Every person has their capacity, and if they say or believe they can do certain responsibilities and they are able to do it, let them do it. Please, do you, boo. I'm not your mother, I'm not your grandmother, I'm not your auntie to advise you what to do, what to not do. So as will I not tell you why you want to become CEO. I'm not your auntie, I'm not your mother. I'm not giving you advice. So, Candace, if the woman wants to be CEO, leave her the hell alone. Stop quoting Jordan Peterson, who Jordan Peterson cannot stand his own words. Concentrate on yourself and what you and George are running from Georgetown Incorporated down to your company, and let Erika concentrate on her husband's thing. Yes, we understand the investigation you're carrying out and the questions you have. Please keep asking those questions as you like, but please avoid questioning the woman's CEO ability or why she wants to be CEO as a woman when you have been CEO of at least two of your companies. I think the ones you created, you were both CEO. So why are you now trying to have this memory where we should just erase everything and believe you've never been CEO of a company? Honey, please stop it.
If you want that, great. If you built the company and you're in the room like Charlie Kirk did, and you have proven to the public, like, hey, I built this company, I didn't even go to college, and I've been doing this for over a decade, as Charlie Kirk did, you've earned that street cred, okay? So she already had a hill to climb, because now they're saying, well, this is his wife, and so, that's it. Well, now you're gonna have to prove that you have the ability to be a CEO and a chairman, and not just a wife who we expect emotion from. And you're rightful in that capacity. You are rightful to have emotion. You are rightful to be the aggrieved widow. But you don't get to just be widowed into the position of chairman and CEO. You don't get to respond to, well, in this case, investors, donors who have given money and are asking meaningful questions with, no, you don't get replies right now because this is the Charlie Kirk show, fam. Doesn't work this way, okay? And the broader point removed from Erika, which a lot of these mockingbird influencers seem to be making, is essentially they're saying to us that scientific inquiry and investigation in and of itself is now patently wrong, right?
Candace, you are just conflating a lot of things. Do you guys remember, those of you who are part of my channel, I had done a full-blown inquiry into the scientific method of investigation. And I had said it, Candace Owens doesn't care about that method, because if she did, she would not be dropping all of these things. She's just been catching just pulling everything here and there without any care or concern. The scientific investigation is a systematic thing. It is planned process, answering questions about natural world by using the scientific method. Now, what happens? It involves observation, forming testable hypotheses. What do you do to those hypotheses? You design experiments or tests, collect data, analyze that data, and then you come to conclusions to build knowledge or explain phenomena or an occurrence or some event. And in the case of Charlie Kirk, the murder of Charlie Kirk. So you had to do what? First of all, Look at what happened, pick all of that data, analyze it, and then you come to conclusions before you even bring something out here to the public and say, hey, this is what we are doing. This is what I found. You make sure you test that particular hypothesis, test it against data and see, one, is it even linked to the data? Is it even necessary for this investigation I'm carrying out? Because if you care about scientific investigation, like I've broken it down before, you don't even care about it because that was not an investigation you've been carrying out. Yes, there are certain aspects you try to do some things, but most of the time you were just dragging cats and mixing them with lions for them to eat each other or scratch each other out. Nothing there was being a procedure. Nothing was protocol. Nothing was analysis. Nothing. What was your common data and analysis? It was, trust me, bro, I have sources. I cannot reveal sources. That is not scientific investigation, Candace. So for you to come out now and pretend that anybody has stopped you from doing scientific investigation, it's very, very disingenuous and it's not even normal. This is the kind of thing where someone comes out and decides that they want to put a name on what they have been doing to sound like the real deal when it is not the real deal, because the real deal requires a lot of effort and a lot of pain of attention. If she was doing that, that child from that school, the UVU child who, because he wore a green hood, he wouldn't have been dragged into the East. The B community would have had nothing to do with it. Those tunnels and all of those things where she was just dragging people here. There are so many theories she has left behind to date. She's never mentioned them because none of them made sense. None of them had anything to do with the investigation, which is why she should have tested them against data, looked into into the hypothesis she has at hand, and see even if it is making sense towards the investigation, advancing it forward or backward, or just disturbing the entire investigation. But now suddenly she wants to complain about Mockingbird. And that is the thing. When she says this, her followers will now start saying that, yeah, those of you who are refusing scientific evidence. No, we are refusing the chaos she's causing using the bulletin method with her husband in the background whispering in her ear. That's what we don't want.
Essentially, we should just trust the state. Don't believe your own instincts. Don't believe your own eyes. Don't ask any questions. And I really want to stress to you guys how utterly ridiculous that logic is, right? Because if we follow that logic in any other situation, there would never be a crime solved ever, okay? If we just ascribe to the idea that scientific investigation is on its face wrong.
I guess you are a little bit nervous about the meeting you're about to have on the 15th. So George has told you that probably start throwing in scientific investigation because it will help people to see you as authentic a little bit more. Meanwhile, you have not been observing that method, because if you observe that method, there are so many things you would have. It doesn't matter how you approach it from the left, right, center, or up or down. The scientific method involves observation, questioning, investigation, hypotheses, experiments, conclusions. Then you share results. You don't just get a tip from your tip box that, hey, we saw this guy with a maroon shirt, and then you come to the podcast and say, maroon shirt. Oh, we saw this guy with a green t-shirt. Oh, it's a green t-shirt. Oh, the B community. Oh, B community. You have to, first of all, when you hear the observation, you do research on it. After you research, you develop a hypothesis. When you develop the hypothesis, and usually you don't develop just one hypothesis. During the time when we're defending our projects, you at least have 2 or 3 hypotheses which you're going to test. And at the end of the day, when you finish that observation, that experiment, you come to the conclusion. You experiment. You then come to the conclusion, okay, this is the experiment I did, these are the research I did, and these are the hypotheses I developed. After this, the research and everything, I tested it against the hypothesis. These are the conclusions I have. And so I am sharing now to the audience or to the people who are watching me defend this project or defend this experiment, this scientific method I used. These are the conclusions we came to. But if you had done any of those, you would have at most 6 or 4 hypotheses. But unfortunately, because you were just dragging it, as soon as you hear an observation, you see an observation, you bring it. That's why we are now in the case where you are. Now, the FBI and maybe Erika Kirk, they will have other things they are looking into. And the truth is this, the FBI they don't share information when they're carrying out investigation to the public. It's not normal, but the influencer war have make it look like, oh, if you're not doing it, you're a criminal.
It would not work. I'll give you a crappy analogy here, but imagine if there's like some young mother and she dies suddenly in the middle of the night, presumably in the middle of the night, and her husband is the first one to report it in the morning, and the cops show up who happen to be his buddies. They get there, and then they dramatically close the case in 48 hours, and neighbors are like, wait a minute. Excuse me, officers, actually, you might want to know some other facts here about this guy. Like, he's in the mafia. These people would be like, how dare you question the people closest to, he loved her, that's his wife. Being a gang member is not evidence. Why are you saying he's a gang member? It's not evidence. And you get another nosy neighbor who produces evidence that in the middle of the night before she died, they saw the guy outside, the husband outside, removing cameras in the front yard. That's not evidence. Yeah, but I saw him go out in the middle. He put something in his car in the trunk. He was looking shady. That's not evidence. How dare you find that to be suspicious? More nosy neighbors start discussing, and they were like, hey, we heard them. They were having actually a heated argument before she was found dead. I think it was about money. All of a sudden, the next thing you know, you got Allie Stuckey from the HOA. She blasts out an email, and she says, it's unbiblical. It's unbiblical to gossip. Hearing an argument is not hard evidence. You have no right to discuss it. Yeah, we're the nosy neighbors, okay? We put together a list of 20 verifiable lies that have been told in the weeks following this sudden death event. And we have some questions.
I love that she said it was a crappy analogy, and then she put the sudden death in quotes. TPUSA, you're in trouble. I swear. She gave an analogy which it just looks... What the hell? Candace. Damn. TPUSA and Erika Kirk, guys, fasten your seatbelts, okay? In Africa, when your grandmother says, tie your belt, you are in danger, okay? Tie your belt. It's running time. It's time for you to take off. It's time for you. Tie your shoelace, okay? It's about time. And if you don't take off in time, the volcano, the snake, is about to swallow you up, okay? You need to take off, and the takeoff needs to be smooth, like the smooth criminal. You need to be seamless. Ooh, the landing, it needs to be perfection. If not, your land, oh, God. The task ahead of you, I swear, from the 15th, we will have 34 more problems, okay? Just keep waiting.
So we're not going to accept Tim Pool jumping on the airwaves with big estrogen energy telling us we're evil.
I'm sorry, guys. I'm sorry. Big estrogen energy. Say anything you want to say about Candy Baby. The girl is funny. Whew, Lord. Big estrogen energy, Candace. Come on now. Come on. You're not nice. You are not nice.
Because we have like school board elections next Thursday. We're the nosy neighbors. We don't care about the elections coming up. We want to know whether or not we are in bed with people who are capable of murder, people that are capable of covering up murders. Actually, we, the nosy neighbors, feel a little bit less safe in this neighborhood until we know whether or not there are some psychopathic killers in our midst. How about that?
God, the framing is so good. The way she frames it, TP has to come with their best framing game. If not, look, I am going to just say this outright, okay? They need to come in, when I say hot and heavy, I mean hot and heavy with exactly Candace Owens methods. Because if they come in with, emotion or facts only, facts will not help them. Because you remember when Candace said, the Bibi Netanyahu letter was fake, it was being misrepresented. Then they dropped the letter, and then it showed that, okay, fine. She said she started sounding like it felt like it was fake or something. Meanwhile, the letter was literally Charlie telling Israel how to come and handle the Americans with media propaganda. So at this point, TPUSA is trouble. Well, after this, she goes ahead to show her bestie, her bestie, Tucker Carlson. You remember Tucker Carlson? She hosted a couple of them, including Marjorie Taylor Greene over the weekend, last weekend, during the Thanksgiving weekend. They had a good time jollificating. Yeah. You remember I used to say Tucker Carlson was on neutral ground. Well, apparently after the Thanksgiving dinner, when Candace Owens met him, they had a tete-a-tete. Now he has a really interesting tune. Guys, I like you to listen to what Tucker Carlson had to say.
He had to say, take a listen.
I don't understand the official story at all.
Of his assassination?
I don't understand it, and I want to make sure that there is a truly rigorous and honest federal investigation of it, and I'm definitely concerned about that. A, B, I think that I don't know many of the details, but I know that recently Candace said that Egyptian registered aircraft were following Erika Kirk, Charlie's widow, around for a number of years in different places in the world. That's one of the weirdest things I've ever heard, and I just want to say that is factually true. That's true. So that's like the one data point that I happen to know is true. What does that mean? I have literally no idea. I can't even guess, but that's very, very strange.
And what is Egyptian? It could mean aircrafts from Egypt. Who knows?
I think that they were registered in Egypt.
Got it.
And but that fact is true. So enough. And it also her claim that there were kind of a disproportionately large number of foreign registered cell phones at the event. That's also true. So what does that add up to? I don't know, but it means that the FBI has a moral and legal obligation to look in every direction and to be open-minded, as you would in any investigation, in journalism, in science. It's all the same process. I don't know the answer, and I'm going to sift through everything as open-mindedly as I can, as honestly as I can, to get to what the truth is. That's science, that's law enforcement, that's journalism. It's all the same. That's justice. And I just want to make sure that is happening, and I just don't have a ton of confidence in the FBI or the men who run it. And I'm not saying that out of ignorance at all.
That's a scary part too.
I'm not alleging anything. I'm just saying I think it's really important that we have that.
It's very important we have that. See who finally caught his voice, okay? And he's finally taking a side. Let's see if the new festival coming up for TPUSA will still feature Tucker Carlson. Let's see. Tim Pool already said he pulled out after they pulled his invitation and only invited him when he started calling Candace Owens out. He's not going for their stupid. The estrogen energy was tippity top. In the words of Donald Trump, they were tippity top. Okay? So in the words of Candace Owens, what is it that she thinks made him, Tucker Carlson, a good, let's say, source to confirm her theories of the planes following Erika Kirk around? Because after the Thanksgiving, now his tune is quite straightforward towards Candace Owens. So let's hear what the reason that we should trust what Tucker Carlson is saying.
That is what authenticity sounds like, and that's what we're doing here. We are investigating, right? Sometimes you get something wrong, you correct it, but I was right about the Egyptian planes. And when you hear Tucker Carlson say that he is confirming that part is true, what I take from that, Tucker Carlson has been very clear. He grew up with CIA agents, okay? This is a guy who grew up in Virginia. His father, he learned after his father died, he thought he was just working with the CIA. No, his father was on the payroll of the CIA. So Tucker's friends are in the state. So you should take it as a concrete fact that there's something up with these Egyptian planes, and they were in fact following around Charlie, and they were following around Erika, as I told you. And that means people in the NSA, the CIA, are confirming that is real. And yet, just last week, what we got from Blake Neff, and I know he's untouchable, he's in the fam, but I'm going to go ahead and touch that and say, this is not okay, the vibe is not right, is making a mockery of it.
And I think that is when we can call it a day for this round two. Round two was quite interesting. And I hope that round three will be really much more fruitful, because this is getting really serious. Ding, 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 ding. This is getting serious. And as for how TPUSA will tackle this, I am hoping for their sake that they have a George Farmer on their side, that kind of mind, because it will require a lot of media play, okay? A lot of manipulation to sell it to their audience, not to Candace or to anybody else, to their audience, because there is nothing they can sell to Candace that Candace will buy. Anything you give Candace is food for the next series. So they shouldn't bother about Candace. They should concentrate on their audience, their donors, and who are their audience. Because as for Candace, that thing, that ship sailed a long time ago, and this is gonna keep going. It's gonna keep rolling. Keep on rolling, 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 rolling to the river. Merry Christmas, guys. If you're new here, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share. Until next time, bye.